Hi, everybody. It's Willny4. You know, people have asked me over the time that I've been producing these videos, how do I get them from 2330 and be able to show them to you as if it was happening today? Well, behind the curtain, the secret is that Willny14, who is a descendant of mine, has the technology so that he can send them back in time. And all I do is take the videos and dub myself in as if I was making them. Well, he just sent me a new one that is so unusual that I thought I would let him speak for himself. So here it is. Hope you enjoy it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Charybdis 5. And Willny4, I'm very glad to have an opportunity to actually do another live presentation for you. I think the only other time we did it was the first 3 videos that I think you ever published, in which I told you the story of how I uncovered this conspiracy between the Cydonia Mining Company and a subsidiary called Bethesda to undermine all the efforts that we had to try and build factories, and then how the wonderful guys at Nexus Mods came to the rescue and solved the problems. Well, here I am today showing you what I consider to be the greatest factory production that I've ever done. And there are a couple unusual parts of it, so let me give you the backstory. But first, I just want to acknowledge that your videos, although they were, of course, very interesting, did not survive 200 years. No one's ever heard of them. But surprisingly, your OnlyFans videos are a huge hit. I mean, all of a sudden, old men's bodies are really the greatest thing around. And that actually is how I think part of the story of how I got to build this factory. And let me tell you how it happened. As I jet down here and go over to the factory floor, I want to tell you about, there's a very famous family here on Charybdis. They're called the family, and they have quite a network that connects all over this particular solar system. Their business is a little mysterious. I don't talk too much about it, but in any event, the 2 daughters, Flo and Vic, started this family some years ago. Their 2 daughters, Vicky and Barbara, approached me and said they wanted to build a factory. They had excess cash that they wanted to launch. No, that wasn't. They wanted to invest. And I said, okay, well, I've built factories just recently for food and for chemistry, for medicines, and so on. They said, no, we'd like you to build a factory that produces ammo. And I said, well, okay, I've done that. I guess you have your reasons for needing that, but I'm sure that I can do it. And you can see here, it was accomplished, and it's working great. And I said, well, how many different kinds do you want? And they said, we want almost all of the kinds that are used. There's a few we don't want. And I said, okay, well, I think I can figure something out about that, and I will come back to you with the proposal. So essentially what we've done here is we've taken all the raw materials on Charybdis, and let me show you how that's set up. We have the home base here at the Charybdis 5, as I mentioned, and I'm mining copper, antimony, and gold here. And then you can see the other moons and planets all within the Charybdis system provide almost everything, except I'm getting mercury, silver, and vanadium from Fermi 1. That's the only intersystem cargo link that we have. Everything else is all done with locals. The materials management part of this is pretty simple, and it's been made a lot easier by something I'm going to show you in a minute. But over here in the distance, you can see there's 3 extractors, antimony, gold, and copper, available here. And then the other cargo links over in the distance funnel their materials into transfer container. And then with this fantastic system of containers that only hold one mineral or resource, that it was created by a guy called I Am Sergeant Splat, and his company is called Unique Storage Containers, and indeed they are unique we go over and just look at a couple of them, you can see that this is now just gold and just helium and mercury. And it's the same for each of the resources that are necessary to make our ammo, and there's quite a few of them. This saves an enormous amount of time because if I show you an aerial view, you can see I only have these lines from the transfer container just to these containers instead of having to have hundreds of lines that go out to each of the fabricators. That's offloaded to each of the individual containers that connect with their respective fabricators. So this is a great system. Now, I've had to make some modifications. I had to increase the capacity of these containers because this is really a high volume business. So Sergeant Platt said that was fine, and so I've done that. But otherwise, it works perfectly. But of course, the factory itself was built by Something Wicked 3, the Wicked Workshop. The Fortified division supplied all of these amazing cranes and towers and actually the factory floor with walls and catwalks, protected turrets, and everything that you need to make a really beautiful factory. Then, like I have shown you in some of my previous builds, Storm H makes these great neon letters and the shelving. It's called Outpost Storage Containers Shelves, plus neon letters. Also looks great. But the star of this show is, let's say the co-star was Something Wicked, is Betamax 76, who actually produced the containers that we are using here, and, of course, the fabricators. But before we go further, I'm going to get in trouble if I don't go over and introduce you to my partners here. There's one of the guards. Here's Vicky, my security guard, and here's Barbara. And we're looking at the navigation console, trying to figure out where we're going to take our factory next. So I'll talk to you later, ladies, because I have a proposal to make, but we'll get into that. So these fabricators are just regular fabricators, but programmed to make ammo. And Betamax has gone to the next step, and he's created recipes that don't require primers. Primers are expensive, and they're more difficult to make. So these are made without that. And you can see we have substantial quantities here. And my partners have not been very efficient in getting rid of it. You know, there's supply chain questions that always are a problem anytime. Here are the more advanced type. And they are produced from these fabricators, and again, we're getting nice quantities. So this relates to what I'm going to discuss with them later, and we'll talk about it in a few minutes. But we go over here, so we have it's the beginning of our transport system. Here's another large fabricator, and that is making heavy particle fuses. Over here are standard fabricators that are making isocentered magnets and zero wire, which are the only finished products that you need in order to make ammo. And down here, I just hop over here, you'll see here's the light particle fuse. Well, let's go down the aisle, and I want to show you what I've invented and something that I think that will be helpful in the future. So I explained before that my partners didn't want all of the ammo that I could make here. So I asked them if I could take a corner of the factory and set up my own little production line. And that would give me a chance to try out something that I've been experimenting with for some time. And let me show you how this works. You'll notice I have these blue containers here. Well, these are not ordinary containers. I have actually programmed them so that they will buy, in this case, ammo and turn it right into cash. So it's a little more complicated than that, and I'll show you how it works. First of all, you have to understand, you may not know this, but credits are tracked very, very expeditiously and efficiently in this universe. So it's hard to actually make a profit because your books are open to everybody all the time. But you may be aware, have heard about the Trackers Alliance. Well, they have developed their own kind of underground economy, and they use a currency called Astras. And Astras have a retail value of 5,000 credits. If you wanted to buy one, that's 781 credits if you want to sell them. But since they're not tracked, they become an attractive currency, let's say. So I have programmed my containers that they will buy a group, and quite a large group, of ammunition, and then convert it into an Astra, which my partners, they can take and use whatever they want to, buy whatever they want to with it. I want the materials because I then turn around and sell them to the Trackers Alliance at a profit. So I'm not going to talk about that, but here's a chart that shows you what the economies work out. So this chart, it's a little bit confusing, sorry, but all the ammo types are listed on the left column. Then the price that it cost you if you were to buy them from the Trade Authority. That's for one package of ammo. On the other hand, if you want to sell them to the Trade Authority, they will only give you 3 credits for 27 caliber, for example. Now, if I take all of this and convert it to how many packages of ammo would it need to be equivalent to one Astra, which I said is 781 credits, that would be 260 that my partners would have to accumulate before they could get one Astra from the Trade Authority. I will give them an Astra if they give me 250 units of 27 caliber, and then so on down the line. It varies with the value of the particular material. Now, I'm not showing you the chart, but I can sell much fewer to get an Astra from the Trackers Alliance, and that's where I make my money. But hey, I got to get paid for all this work, right? So that is really the way that this system works. They get programmed to buy the same ammo that the fabricators are producing, and there's a choice. If you already have containers that are filled with the ammo, like I have over here, is the Ultra Mags, you can link it directly to my buyer. And my buyer takes 120 Ultra Mags and gives you an Astra, or gives my partners an Astra in this case. And it's 120 for each of the other types of ammunition. And it's a simple matter that you create an output link and just connect it like I'm doing right here to the container. And it will start to generate Astras. But if you're just starting out, you don't need the containers. With all due respect to Betamax, you can substitute my containers like I've done here. These are connected directly to the fabricators. So it just will generate Astras. And again, you can see if we go up and look at each of these containers, you can see here it's now collected 74 of the 120. You need 120 to get one Astra. This is 76. This one is 96. So they operated at different speed. Of course, the fabricators are slow. They only make one package at a time. So it takes a while to get 120 of them. But you can certainly use everything that's already in your storage. And you can see here we have large quantities. So we're going to get quite a few Astras from this group. So this system is working so well. And by the way, I'll show you. go into build mode here. Here's my ammo buyer. And we can just, a lot of places that things can go, we can just find a place to put it down here and build them. I also have a chem buyer that will do the same thing for all of your chems. So, but this all brings me back to the final discussion I want to have with my partners. We have generated so much ammo here. I would think that they probably should have enough for what they need. I'm going to try and talk them into letting me convert the whole factory into an Astra machine. So I'm going to go down when they're over here, and I'm going to talk to them about it. You know, Barbara, what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? Of course, I have to get Vicky's consent. Well, it took a little bit of persuasion, but my partners have agreed to turn the entire factory into an Astra generating behemoth. There isn't any more ammo being produced for consumption. It's just being produced for sales. And if we go up and look at the containers here, we see there, with different quantities being accumulated depending on the materials and cargo links and so on. It's quite a variety. Now, the other thing that I did, since the main advantage of this system is you don't have to run around and pick up the ammo one at a time or one group at a time, put it in your inventory, and then run to the trade authority and unload the inventory a few at a time. Everything's converted to Astras. So what I have promised them is that now I'm going to go around and link them all together. And you see I have a nice fat Astra container on the table. So let's see what happens when I connect them all. Well, that took a few minutes, but let's go down and see how much we've actually been able to collect here. Let's see if everybody's happy. 1,432 Astras. Wow. What do you say, Barbara? Well, she's not that impressed. It's not a big surprise. They have a lot of money. But that is pretty good, and it's going up, of course, as we speak. So I'm ready to go and go to my warehouse and collect all of that ammo, all this ammo that I've been buying virtually. I've got to get the Trackers Alliance and stock up on Astras and do some more deals. And this factory has room to expand. And but I may do the next one on my own. So I'll let you know, Will. So everybody, thanks a lot. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little Back to the Future. And just to reassure you, there are no OnlyFans videos. I don't know what Will NY14 was talking about. But I want to give credit to all the other mods that really made this possible. More manufacturer and item sorting by Betamax 76. That's really just everything that you need if you want to set up this kind of production line. Something Wicked 3, Wicked Workshop. This is the Projeckt Fortified division. Is just the greatest in terms of the variety and the scale of what he's able to do and provide to us. I love the Storm H's storage container shells and particularly the neon letters. And finally, I am Sergeant Splat, unique resource containers, and they certainly are. This is the first time that we've seen something like this that can work and also is transferable to Xbox. It saves an awful lot of time in inventory management and control. Of course, I will leave links to all of these in the description below. And also, I will provide a link to this mod, the Willny4 ammo buyer system, as soon as it's done. There's a couple more things I need to do to tune it up, but then I'm going to publish it. And shortly after that, I'll publish the one on chems. Next will be food, and then finally bandages and antibiotics and the basic medical supplies. This has been a lot of fun doing it, and I think you'll find that it will save you some time and give you a reason why you want to build the factory, because you can get the credits. Astras turning into credits. Okay, I think that's it. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.